What's going on, everybody? Let me tell you, I've been sort of like taking a step back to really pay attention on the type of information I've been taking in, being sort of like abreast of, current affairs in a way. And I got to tell you, I guess the themes and the tone of my channel has changed considerably over the years, but as of recent, it's taken a very serious tone because there's a lot of serious things. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're all adults, right? Right? There's gonna be possibly chances where the curses are gonna just be flying, man. I'm gonna be hurling some curses. Those who can't stand it, I don't know what to tell you. But it is what it is. Everything is real right now. Like, everything as far as what's going on, this whole thing with, where do we even start? Where do we even start? The divisive and divided nature just on this country. All I can do is talk about the U.S. right now, man. We're divided on so many issues, it's not even funny. And it looks like it's being done by design, right? It's been done on purpose. And that has a direct correlation, a direct impact on our money. Direct impact. Okay? If nothing else, you got to think about how much money this government signed into creation. You gotta think about how much money was printed, injected into the economy within the last 20 months. To where there's a $3.5 trillion package soon to be a thing of the past, perhaps. They're fighting it. But then it's either 3.5 or 1.5 trillion. Trillions of dollars. Do you not for a second believe that you and I are going to be paying for that? How many times do we get taxed? How many times a day do we get taxed? There's so much stuff that goes on that we just comply. We just go and just, submit and just oblige. We have to deal with inflation, visible inflation, and what I call invisible tax and invisible inflation. We get taxed on our monies how many times? For those of us who work, we get taxed on our income. We get taxed on our salary. We go patronize these businesses or services. We get taxed there. We get taxed religiously. So with all this money injected into the economy, who do you think is going to pay for that? We are. We already paying for it. And know that this is going to be an uphill battle, a slow uphill grind, because it's not going to just stop overnight. Do not think for a second that the cost of living is going to revert back to what it was pre-pandemic. Do not think for a second prices are going to revert back to where they were back in the end of 2019 and let's say January of 2020. Do not think for a second. Cost of living has gone up tremendously. And there are people who have made big bank, who have profited. Big banks made big bank, profited hugely off of tragedy. Corporations, oh, they made a killing. During a global health crisis. Could you imagine? But there's always a cause and effect. See, people don't think that, they think that just because we're here at the bottom, right? We think that we're here at us at the bottom, we're not going to be affected. We're going to be the first ones to be affected. The higher you go up the chain of command is the more you know and the more that doesn't involve you. Do your research. The more wealthy and well-to-do that you become and well-connected you become, do you think you pay the same amount of taxes that everyone on the bottom pays, that we pay? Do your research. They made money while many of us struggled. And struggle even more because the same little allowances that they call a stimulus, the same stipends that they call a stimulus that they distributed, whether people tricked it off, spent it on frivolous, meaningless items or whatever. The same $100 that you used to buy your goods and services 2 years ago, you need more to acquire those same goods and services. You need more today. What's going on with housing? They say this is the buyer's market in the middle of a global health crisis. I don't care what people think, just because, there's this whole thing with vaccines. It hasn't stopped. It's not over. They're in the middle of a health crisis, global. You know what's happening over here in this country? What has happened and is still happening? Housing. People are buying houses like it's no one's business. It's like people just panic. And they just say, okay, I'm going to buy a house now. Not only are they buying the house, but they are warring with one another. The buyers are warring with one another, trying to outbid each other. Spending, 20, 25, 30 plus % over the asking price. I've seen it for myself. With houses, buying them as is, and not at the asking price, above the asking price, much higher. They're buying them. What about vehicles and cars that I remember seeing, 2 years ago that were, on the market that were worth maybe $30,000-$40,000. They're now $65,000 and $70,000 ticket items. Same model, same vehicle, same manufacturer, everything you want to call it. Cars. Cost of living through the roof. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Now, this is not about doom and gloom. This is not about conspiracy. Why do I say this is not about conspiracy? Because I don't move on that. I'm not, like the kids say, I'm not on that type of timing. I know that your Secretary of Treasury, Yellen, is in favor of having any monies above $600 left in banks. Those monies have to be reported to the government. She's in favor of that. $600. What's $600? Oh yeah, she's in favor of that. She's in favor of having anything above $600 in your bank be reported to the government. That's not a conspiracy. Not at all. Not at all. This is what's happening. What's 600? This is why I say we get taxed over and over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Now, how many people panicked? How many people panicked today? I heard it from myself. I heard it directly from myself. How many people panicked today because Facebook was down, Instagram was down, WhatsApp? How many people panicked? Why? Because so many people, the internet is interwoven into the fabric of our everyday lives. It's become part of our natural way of living, the internet. We are so connected to it. We've been socially engineered and steered in this direction by design on purpose to now have to depend on the net. So let something happen to your device or our device or any device or even worse, let something happen to the internet itself. Oh, people won't know what to do. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Everything is connected to the net. Everything. And again, I say some of these things and I feel like when people head to the streets, you know, to do all types of manifestations and protests and all these kinds of things, and I'm like, yo, the struggle continues. It never ends. The struggle continues. When stuff like this goes on, it's just quiet. It's just, it was just down. People just think that the internet was just down. People just think that it's only $600. I don't mind having them report anything above $600. Oh, I'm paying, not me, but people rather pay $200,000 and $300,000 above their asking price for a house. People rather pay 40, 45, 50% more for a car that they could have bought, 2 years ago for 50% less. They rather, just go along, get along, go along with the program. You just want to go along with the program, huh? It's almost like people don't recognize the power that we have, where we can say enough is enough and stop this from continuing the way it's been going. Just stop. They told us to our face, whether we paid attention or not, do your research, that the Great Reset is a thing. It's real and it's happening. They told us this is no longer things that are done in the shadows, in secret rooms and remote places. Some type of clandestine affairs taking place that's we're not privy to. They told us to our grill. They said, listen, this is what's happening here. You're going to be happy and you're going to own nothing. You're going to be happy and you're going to own nothing. And we just take it. We just take it. And whatever happens to this channel is what happens to it. I just share my channel. I don't make money off this channel. I don't make money off this content. It's not about that. What I tried to do, especially when I discovered crypto, was just share the information with people. And over the years, I've seen the market expand. I've seen the market grow because I've been in the market 5 years. That's no time compared to the OGs, but 5 years is 5 years. And I've seen tremendous change. But what I've said all this whole time was crypto helps to equalize the odds for the common man versus the machine. It helps to level the playing field. It helps to do more than just keep our heads above water, because that's not what they want. They want us to remain meek. They want us to remain quiet. They want us to remain passive, while we just say, give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more. Beat me some more. Oppress me some more. Abuse me some more. Disrespect me some more. That's what's taking place here, and I'm watching it unfold, and it's daunting. It's really daunting. The lack of preparation. One thing that these last 20 months, or the beginning of this scourge, this global scourge that gripped the world, one thing that it taught me is how ill-prepared I was. Wholly ill-prepared. I'm talking about, this blindsided me like I didn't see this coming. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. But it was a learning experience. Because if anything, it taught me the need to be prepared. The importance of why it is important to be prepared. Because let me tell you something, for example, right? I talk about crypto a lot. But let me share something. If the internet shuts down, now I understand Bitcoin has its satellite mechanisms in place. Back years ago, I remember I read about Blockstream. So where if anything were to happen, you could still access the blockchain through the satellite service from Blockstream. If the internet were to shut down, we would have to worry about a lot more important things than cryptocurrency. I'm telling you, because everything that we know, everything that we do, how many apps are on our phones that we don't even use, but they're on our devices. We have ways to track one another. We have ways to get from Waze. How many of us know about that app? You can go from point A to point B in no time because the app will show you how to get there. How many times you talk to somebody, or someone over the phone, and then you go through an app and something that you spoke about appears as an ad on an app? These things are not happening for nothing. If the internet shuts down right now, can you say you prepared to deal with the consequences? Can you say you have food, protection? Can you say you have things that you can barter and exchange with? But people are just happy just because they could get back on the gram. When was the last time the internet ever got shut down for several hours? You let me know, because I've been alive for a little bit, and for as long as this commercialized type of internet since the early 90s with, AOL and everything over here, I've never known the internet to be like, and maybe I'm going too far as to say the internet, because this was Facebook and its subsidiaries, Instagram and WhatsApp, two behemoths, three behemoths. Facebook, a conglomerate in itself, multi-billion-dollar corporation, to shut down. And you think that was just a simple glitch? Some people are saying it was due to some type of whistleblowing that took place. We know they've already sold our data that we thought was private. No, once we created an email, privacy out the window. That's just my opinion. But we thought that, it was, we've heard already about data breaches and all types of privacy problems, and how they just sell our information for their own gain. But it shows you today, of anything, that they can cut your communication at will, because we decide to lovingly use their apps. It's become so much a part of us, we're addicted. That was created by design, in my opinion, where you need to create posts and for people to like the posts, to validate you as a person, to make you feel good today. It's not a secret why, when you read somebody's post, that it could just change your mood for the rest of the day. That's not done by mistake. It's not. And I tell you again, if they can cut the communication from everyone who you care about, who you hold dear in your life, who uses WhatsApp, who uses Instagram, who uses Facebook, if they can cut that communication, and then you have nothing, you are not prepared for the worst that can come, for anything, the next level of severity. You're not prepared. We're not prepared. I don't know what this is turning into, and to me, it's not pretty. What's the sense in having money in the bank if you can't access it? It's online. The internet shut down. What are you gonna do? And then people with the whole argument about having worthless fiat, well then if you at least have some cash, maybe that'll get you a way to just barter, do something, get something that you need, whatever it is, maybe for a little while until that runs out. Or then you're going to deal with what? Natural resources, gold, silver, that talk. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Store water and all this type of thing, again, with the whole life of preparing, having firearms, keeping ammunition and arsenal to secure yourself and your loved ones. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But I don't see the talk being had. I don't know. It's just me speaking with you all. But it's not happening at a grand scale, because people are just happy that they could get back on TikTok. Well, TikTok wasn't down, but you know what I mean. People are just happy that they could get on the gram, make videos. I hope one day things begin to make sense and people can understand that we have the power. We dictate what we want. We have the power. And that it's as if right now we're living asleep, we're living on our knees, we're existing and we're standing on our knees, and they know this. and they know that we don't want to ignite one another or fight. And so they're going to continue to disrespect, to abuse, to subjugate us in a certain level. And the only way I can see this changing, the only ways I can see this changing, if there is a real awakening that takes place, and the awakening begins with the younger generation, the youth. Because I don't know how else to flip this and bounce this or see it. I mean, I'm trying, man. If the internet is shut down, how are you going to be able to deal with your cryptocurrency? If the internet is shut down, how are you going to access your crypto? If the internet is shut down, how are you going to access your bank account? Flat out. If the internet is shut down, what apps can you use? If you use whatever, car share programs or whatever, well, you can't even use your smartphone. Everything done. No medical services, no food services, no communication services, no financial services. You're done. Then what? And someone's going to have their own version of Instagram filming us. And it won't be pretty.